Hi Holistretch family, my name is Frances Eve. Welcome back to a Holistretch video. In this video, we will be working on the wrists and forearms. So if you have tension, tightness, or pain in the wrists and forearms, this is the video for you. Please subscribe to the channel to learn more about self-stretches and massages. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. What we wanna do is palpate the right arm. So we're going to bend the right arm and take the left hand into a C shape with the thumb and the four fingers, and then gently press into the flexors and the extensors. So really we're focusing on the extensors right now, which is the inside part of the forearm. And you're palpating, which means you're softening up the tissue, you're gently pressing into the fascia, and we're looking for areas of tension, tightness, and soreness. Now, when you find an area of tension, tightness, or soreness, go ahead and gently press down on it and then surrender the arm to the left hand. That means you'll just completely release all the tension in the muscles and then shake it out with the left hand. If you are very tense and very sore, then take it slow. You don't have to shake it as hard. But shaking the wrist can be extremely liberating and help loosen up tissues that have gotten stuck. So fascia works sort of like a spider web almost under the microscope. So say you're typing or you're writing, the fascia can accumulate in certain areas and become tense so that you'll feel knots or areas of tension in the forearm and the wrist. Sometimes this can cause carpal tunnel. Go ahead and now palpate the flexors and then shake it out. Flexors are the outside part of the forearm. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing. So there are a lot of jobs that people have that can tighten the wrist, such as office jobs or waitress jobs or secretary jobs. Things like that, where you're a writer or a typist, or you're holding trays or heavy things. Or maybe even if you play guitar. I remember my wrist getting super tight when I used to play. So there's a lot of different ways that our wrist will get tight. But now we're going to go ahead and grab onto the retinaculum in the wrist and then open up the fingers and relax them. So what we're doing here is we're stretching out all the tissue in all the fingers. We're stretching that out. Now, if you notice, each of your muscles is not just in the fingers or just in the forearms. You'll notice that when you extend one finger, that you can see the muscle go all the way down the hand through the wrist. So that's why we like to start at the elbow. And if you want to go even further to open up the wrist, you can also focus on opening up your shoulders. Let's go ahead and stretch out the wrist this time, bringing the left hands to the fingertips and dropping the wrist facing forward. We can go ahead and press on the right hand with the left hand, creating a little more tension. And just notice if you feel any tension in the shoulder or the neck. In that case, you can get a deeper stretch by rotating the neck to the left shoulder. And you're really stretching that entire trapezius muscle into the sternocleidomastoid. So sometimes even when we have hand tension, it can originate in the neck. Recently I got body work done and I had an issue with my toe, and it wasn't until my neck got released that my toe released. So fascia is funny, it connects everything in the body together. Now what we can do is take each finger individually and stretch them with the left hand. This can be very challenging or painful, so please don't force anything, just play with it. See, I do a lot of body work. I practice massage therapy and assisted stretching. So my fingers and wrists get pretty tense too. And there are always ways to stretch it out. If you suffer from really intense carpal tunnel, then I definitely recommend also playing with heat and cold, so ice packs and heat. Let's go ahead and gently shake it out, release what you've done. Give your arm some release by opening the hand and closing. And now what we're going to do is just massage the fingers. So taking the same left hand and just squeezing into the big joints of the fingers, the first joint, and in between the fingers as well, especially in between the thumb and the forefinger. We're going to go ahead and switch the direction of the wrists, so the outside of the wrist facing forward this time, hand in a fist, and release it on the floor. Again, to get a deeper stretch, you can bring the neck all the way around to the left shoulder. Play with the shoulder a little bit, feel where you can get a deeper stretch. There's always a deeper stretch. So play with where your upper body is in space. To strengthen the wrist area, we can gently apply a little bit of pressure downwards into the wrist, and then using the muscles of the hand and the wrist, we're going to go ahead and lift up. And then we can lift up using the fingers as well. All right, now what we can do is work on the lateral rotation of the wrist. So go ahead and take the left hand and bring it to the outside of the right hand and drop the palm open. And then we can move on to the other side as well. So grasping onto the thumb and twisting it open on the other side. You can always play with the hand opening and hand closing, and then shaking it out in between stretches. All right, great. We're going to go ahead and work on the other side. So everything that we just did, we're going to do the same thing on the left side. We'll go ahead and start with the palpations, pressing into the extensors, thumb into the inside of the forearms, gently pressing around, feeling for the tension, the tight spots, and any tenderness. When you find this area of tension, go ahead and gently press into it and shake the arm out. Really working on surrendering that left arm. I know it can be challenging to fully surrender even to yourself. And if you don't find any tender spots, you can play with it a little bit more, try pressing in a little bit deeper. You're guaranteed to find at least a few tender spots. And shake it out. Very good. We're going to go ahead and work on the flexors now. So rotating that arm, working on the outside of the forearm, little squeezies, palpations, and feeling for any tension. Notice the difference in feeling between the inside arm and the outside arm. Is one area sore, more sore than the other? Shake it out. You might notice that after these stretches, you get more blood flow in your arms. So just notice all the little sensations that occur after shaking it out and massaging. You might also feel a little bit lighter in your mood as self-massage and surrendering the body can release a lot of stress, anger, frustration, anything like that also. When I had really bad anxiety, I used to squeeze on my forearms, and that helped to release anxiety, and I still do sometimes, so you can always use this as a tool for that as well. I'm going to go ahead and open up the fingertips and close. Open and close, squeezing onto the wrist. Shaking out any tension. And then grasping onto the fingers, we're going to stretch that wrist, the inward side facing front. And then if you like, you can press down on those fingers with the right. To intensify the stretch, go ahead and bring the nose over to the right shoulder. Open up that whole left shoulder, left trap. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stretch out the fingers. So gently pulling the fingers with the right hand and stretching them out. Take your time, take it slow, take it easy. And don't overdo anything. You don't want to strain any muscles either. So always take it easy. Gently pulling the fingers away from the wrist. Nice. All right, gently pressing into the hand. We're shaking out the hand or opening it nice and wide. And then bringing the hand to a fist, we're going to bring the outside of the wrist facing forward. Go ahead and drop the wrist all the way down into the mat, and then bring the face over to the right shoulder, opening up that whole shoulder and arm. Lifting up and then coming back down. Nice. Using the muscles of the forearm, relaxing the wrist down. Getting a nice deep stretch. You should feel this all the way up into the elbow. And you guys, let me know how you feel in the comments after doing these stretches. I'm so curious to hear about how this helped you in any way, if it did. We're going to go ahead and laterally rotate now, pulling the outside of the hand towards the front of you, and then you can shake it, open, close. Always breathe. And then the other way, grabbing onto the thumb and opening it up. This is one of my favorites. And go ahead and shake that wrist out. Very good. We can go ahead and bring the hands together even, stretch out the fingers just like so, the insides and the outsides. I hope you guys feel much more free in your body. Always know that you have these tools right under your belt now. You can use them whenever you need. Have a great day, everyone. Much love.